Okay, believe it or not, some people still use PlayStation 3. And what you see there is PlayStation 3 Slim. Now, I'm going to try and make this as brief as I can, but we'll see where that goes. All right, now I've already taken this PlayStation 3 apart. Now, a lot of people don't know how to take the Slim apart. They get really confused, and it can be confusing because the way they put it together, it doesn't appear that you can take it apart any kind of way. So I'm going to show you how to take the Slim apart. And if you've had a problem where your Slim is no longer reading, your drive is no longer reading your disk, I'm going to show you how to fix that for about $52. I think it's worth it. If you want to keep your PlayStation, you have nice PlayStation 3 games you want to continue to play, your drive is no longer reading those discs, and you don't want to get rid of your whole collection. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that for $50. It's really not in the ballpark of $50, $52 maybe. And all the parts that you're going to need, you can order from Amazon. So let's get started on how to take this apart. Again, I've already taken it apart. So I'm going to show you on the side. The first thing you want to do on the PlayStation Slim. Now, that just fell, but I should tell you that these pop off. Okay, these aren't difficult to get off. They pop off. The one on the rear that just fell, they also pop off. Now, on the right-hand side of your PlayStation Slim, PlayStation 3 Slim, you have this part. It goes on here. Okay, now it slides and locks into place. It locks, once you put it on like this, you slide it in this direction once you put it on to lock it, and to take it apart, you push it this way. That'll give you access to your hard drive. Okay, once you get to your hard drive, you will see there's a screw here, and there's one here. Now this isn't closed all the way, but that would line up there, and that would line up over there. Those are two little black screws that I'm going to show you. Okay, these two little black, oops, one of those. Okay, this one here is not the black one, that's the silver one. That one actually is the one that goes here. Okay, that's the bracket for your hard drive. That's how you get your hard drive out of the Slim. You take that one screw out, you can pull your hard drive out. You don't have to take all those out to get your hard drive out. All right, so there's two black screws that look like this. So I keep them all together. Okay, and once you remove those two screws, there will be two more on the top here. One here and one here. Okay, they're the same length screws as the ones on the side. Then here on the front you have silver screws, and there's four of them. I'll show you those screws. They look like that. They're fairly long, and they go across the front of your PlayStation. Okay. Now for the tricky part. You're probably going to get confused as to how to get this apart once you remove all those screws. You don't want to pull or force anything, okay? So if you turn it this way, okay, you'll see there are no screws in the back here, okay, for you to unscrew. They are on the bottom. They're underneath the little rubber pads, and there's four of them, but they're not underneath all of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if you notice, the front two pads don't have any screws underneath them. Only this one, this one, this one, and that one. Okay, now you're ready to lift the lid off of your PlayStation 3. And those screws on the bottom are long and black, and there's 4 of them. And I like to keep those all together. Okay, now that we have the lid off, I'm going to show you how we remove the hard drive. Now it's very simple. There's a lever right here. Just pull this lever and pull your hard drive right out. It's that simple. Again, you don't have to take all of this apart just to get your hard drive out. All you have to do is take the side panel off. Let me show it to you again. You just have to take that panel off to get your hard drive, and the one silver screw that goes there, and you can remove your hard drive. Okay, so I put the drive reader, the disk reader, back in. It's not installed. I just set it there so I can show you a few things if you ever plan on changing that out because you're having a problem with your disk, your Blu-ray reader reading your disk. So here's what we're going to do. It's probably more than likely a laser issue or some other thing, but for $50, $52, you can replace all of this and not bother with having to break all that apart and perhaps maybe break a pin or do something that causes further damage. The simpler way is to simply buy the drive, okay? Now the drive simply lifts out of this housing that it sits in. It's in a housing. You can just take your fingers and pull it right out. Now there is a tape in there. When you pull that out, you're going to find out that this is connected here, okay? And so you don't want to just rip this out, or you're going to rip that ribbon, and you're going to have problems. So it goes in this way. That ribbon would be attached right inside of there. And if I can give you a clearer view of it, okay, it slides right in there where that black piece is. You pull down, you pull up on the black piece, put the ribbon in, and press down on the black piece. Now these are 45 pins. You might have done damage to this, or it might be damaged, as you can see in this one. There's a little bit of damage on the pin right there. So this pin is being replaced. And it's a 45 pin ribbon. Now this one goes to your motherboard. So while this is attached and all together, you want to be careful when you remove it because this one attaches down there. And you want to be careful about pulling that out. That 45 pin goes to, ribbon goes to the motherboard. You want to pull that out very easily. And there's another one in the rear. Okay, now I think that is a 12 pin, and that plugs in back here. So you want to be careful about that. When you pull this out, you want to pull that pin, pull that ribbon, but you're not done yet. There's one more ribbon I want to show you. It's very easily to tear. And in fact, I did tear it. So that pin goes here. You can see the little pin slot. Maybe I need to grab a pointer so that I can show you a little better what's going on here. Now these pins have like a blue tab on the front, and that's to tell you kind of the direction that it goes. And so you would want to have this pin go in here. There's a little slot right there, and you would want the pins facing this direction, and it slides in there. Okay, now I broke the end off of this, but the other end of it goes here. Now this is the sensor for when your door closes. This here allows your disc to start to spin. There's a little, see that right there? When the door closes, it hits that and it'll start to read your disc. Now that other end that I broke off, you can see it right there, still in there. It plugs into the bottom of that little part there. You see that? So I'm replacing this ribbon. It's only like $2. And I'm also replacing this ribbon, $2.99. So now we're at $6, right? Now, if you want to replace the drive itself, it won't come with the bracket. It'll simply come, it'll come like this, just like this. But it's, you know, easy to just drop it right in. There are guide pins. It can only go in one way, so you can't foul that up. You just drop it in, but again, remember connecting. You have to reconnect that ribbon there before you can put it in. And then be careful, because you're going to have to put this pin, this ribbon, and these pinholes in the back there, and the other 6-pin ribbon that goes here attaches here. So you have to be very careful about that. You don't mess anything up. Now, how do you get this pin off? I mean, this ribbon off? Well, it's very easy. There are little tabs on the side walls. Here, here, and here, and here. And this is made of tin. All you got to do is spread it. Maybe get a little, something like a knife, or, you know, like a pick, something like this. And you just simply pry it very lightly, get it to release, and you pull it out, and that's your ribbon under there. And I'm keeping it this way because I want to remember this fold when I replace this, because you see how that's damaged there? So I want to remember this fold, so I'm going to keep it like this until it's time for me to reinstall everything. So now you see that everything is torn apart, and how we replace the Blu-ray disc reader so that your PlayStation 3 will read disc again. And now I will backtrack in putting it together. Okay, because I don't have the ribbons yet or the drive, all that stuff is on order and coming. We'll just mock up a putting this back together again. So again, I'm going to take this first. I'm going to make that fold in that ribbon.